Last August, Viktor Hovland gave us a 2-week tear-it-up run of golf. 61 Sunday to win the BMW, 63 to grab the Tour Championship the next Sunday, and you thought, hold on, this guy might be the best player in the world. The FedEx Cup champ's been struggling a bit. With more, let's go back to Todd.
Well, Rich, let's talk about Viktor Hovland, who's coming off his best season ever on the PGA Tour. He won the Memorial, he won the BMW Championship, he won the Tour Championship, and ultimately the FedEx Cup. All those wins coming on historic and challenging golf courses. Viktor admits a lot of his success he attributes to working with Joe Mayo, his swing coach, who revamped his short game. But at the end of last year, Mayo and Hovland split. Viktor really doesn't want to talk about what happened there. He's more interested in talking about his new coach, who is Grant Waite, who is a former PGA Tour player. The two have been working very hard together this week, getting ready for the Arnold Palmer Invitational. There you see Waite working with him. During the Pro-Am, just about after every shot, they were looking at video of Hovland's swing. They are not making subtle changes to Viktor Hovland's swing, some major changes. The biggest thing is the way he pushes off the ground, Hovland says, that is causing some other movements in his body that they're trying to iron out. Viktor talked about the road he is on right now and trying to improve his game.
Obviously, you want to have good results, but when you're seeing a shot and your swing is not producing those shots, it becomes very tough to compete, especially at this level. So I think the results are just, you know, obviously they're not the best, but it's like they reflect what you're doing when things aren't great. So it's like not confident with my game, and then you're just trying to make the most out of it. You're playing defensive golf instead of aggressive or confident. That's basically what I just got to get back to. If I can stand on the range or on a golf course, see a shot and execute that shot, that gives me confidence. And then whether I finished 5th or 10th or 20th, whatever it might be, that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you see the shots that you're hitting and you have belief that you're going to do that repeatedly.
And have you gone through something like this before? I know you're young, but
yeah, no egos. It's kind of funny when I've spent a lot of hours just looking back at my golf swings from 2019 when I first turned pro and kind of seeing the evolution of my swing. It's very interesting. I've had a lot of multiple different patterns, and I've been able to make a lot of different things work. I'd say this pattern that I've got going on now is a little bit, it's different in a different way. So it's been a little bit more challenging, but I will say, credit to myself, I'm very good at making things work. I think I'm talented in that way, but it definitely helps when the swing is also in a good spot. So we got a little bit of work to do, but that's kind of a challenge, and it's fun.
Viktor, why have you jumped around to so many different coaches in the last few years on your swing?
Yeah, I'm a very curious guy. I like to ask questions, and sometimes when you ask a question and you get some answers, that leads you down a different path and opens up some new questions, and you pursue a different path. And I just want to kind of see where it goes. I always like to improve and expand my knowledge, and just happen to lead me down to Grant Waite.
Now, there's a significant move in Viktor Hovland's personal life as well. He lived for years in Stillwater, Oklahoma after leaving Oklahoma State, but he recently moved to Florida, down in South Florida, the West Palm area. Grant Waite lives here in Orlando, so it's just a 2 to 2.5 hour car ride between the two if they want to do some work while at home. His starts this year, not many, just 3 starts on the PGA Tour for Viktor Hovland so far this season. At the Century, he finished tied for 22nd. The AT&T Pebble Beach tied for 58th. And at the Genesis Invitational, a tie for 19th, his only top 20 this year. Rich?
All right, Todd. Rolf, what do you make of the move by Hovland?
Well, I don't know. I don't know many golfers that don't want to get better. That's sort of the characteristic of almost every golfer in this entire world. He has always been a curious George, which I think is okay at a younger age. We heard him say that he's done a lot of different things and he's made a lot of different things work. My question is why? I'm not sure why you would do that. He was having so much success with Mayo. There's a lot of speculation, maybe that there was just too much talk out in public about what was going on. Viktor's not necessarily that kind of guy, but I would say find a pretty good method right now and then sort of stick with it, because he is all over the place on kind of what he's trying to do.
Yeah, by some counts, he's already had 7 different coaches. It's a dangerous game that he's playing. Look, I know that he's been able to play and amalgamate all those different changes thus far, but it is a dangerous game. You know, we often talk about, is this science or art, sport? But the one thing that scientists and artists both have in common is curiosity. Curiosity is a great thing, and the zeal for improvement is both a gift and a curse. We talk often about the players that make changes and do well, because they're at the top of the leaderboard. We don't talk as often or ever about the players that make changes and don't do well. But the list of players that don't do well, the list of players that are no longer on the tour that were trying to do the exact same thing that Viktor is doing, is much longer, exponentially longer than those that make changes and get better. All things being equal, experience will make you better. Curiosity is a good thing, but there's a big difference between trying to preserve the edge of the sword and change the instrument altogether.